In addition to making sure Santa Claus has a clear path, cleaning your chimney is an essential part of preventing house fires this time of year. As KLTV7's Lauren Tier tells us, the experts recommend getting an inspection at least once a year, especially before your first fire of the season.
Clean hands may not be in the job description for Marcus Swinney, but clean chimneys certainly are. The Swinney family has been cleaning the chimneys and fireplaces of East Texas for 3 generations. Today's job, just one of many filling their winter schedule.
That phone rings, my dad says it rings till 10 o'clock at night sometimes, and ring at 5, 6 in the morning.
Swinney says a thorough annual clean is the best way to prevent or at least decrease the risk of a chimney and house fire.
We look at it like this, it is dirty. That's creosote. That's what burns.
Creosote is a tar-like residue that often builds up and poses a risk. According to the Chimney Safety Institute of America, chimney fires can burn over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, which can melt mortar, crack tiles, and cause other damage that might allow flames to slip through to house frames. After responding to a chimney fire in ARP last week, Smith County Fire Marshal Chad Hogue says it's best to hire a professional for cleaning.
Might be a good time of year to clean and inspect chimneys, so probably need to look at that if they're going to be used this winter season.
Sometimes the hat has to come off to thoroughly inspect, but sweeping technology has evolved since the days of Mary Poppins. A series of flexible and detachable poles are topped with a spiky brush and then spun by a drill.
In order to be safe for your family and keep using that fireplace and enjoying it, you got to keep it up.
Lauren Tier, KLTV 7 News.
And the experts tell us creosote logs and other commercial products can help, but they're no replacement for an actual sweeping. Even with electric fireplaces, chimney sweeps recommend getting those inspected to make sure your chimney is free of water leaks and also critters that may be hiding inside.